Oi, gente, tô de volta com mais uma entrevista exclusiva do gloss.com pra vocês. Dessa vez, minha gente, a gente foi visitar o mundo dos vampiros. A gente foi conversar com o Daniel Gillies, da série The Originals. O Daniel é um fofo, teve no Brasil e bateu um papo exclusivo com o Gloss.com. Falou da relação dele com os fãs, falou o que ele achou dos fãs brasileiros, falou de como é fazer par romântico com simplesmente a mulher do melhor amigo dele, gente. Como é que será isso? Como é que é? Depois, e aí, beijou sua mulher hoje? Como é que foi? Então o Daniel contou tudo pra gente, falou o que ele achou do Brasil, dos nossos doces brasileiros. Gente, ele comeu paçoca. Ai... Daniel, vamos dividir uma paçoca comigo? Deixa eu comer sua paçoquita. Eu acho que as fãs de The Originals vão ficar muito felizes. Daniel, me chama, call me now! Dá uma olhada.
Daniel, nice to meet you.
You as
Welcome
well.
to Brazil.
Thank you.
How's it going so far?
It's wonderful. I wish I had seen more of the city, to be honest with you. I was telling the gentleman before that I went to Vila Madalena last
Vila
month.
Madalena.
Yeah, it ended up being my favorite neighborhood in São Paulo.
awesome.
So, but it's about the only part of the city that I got to see.
Elijah is such a noble and gallant character.
You
Do
think?
I think.
Okay.
You don't think?
Sometimes no. I mean, yes and no. Like I think that his biggest problem is that he is a monster, but he's also a gentleman.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when he gonna kill, he's such a elegance and such a noble.
I think he's hanging on to the last little piece of humanity that he has. Do you know what I mean? He's mostly a monster, but he desperately wants to be not a monster, I think.
And have you ever imagined playing this such a huge character?
I didn't think he would become this big. I did think that he would last a long time, but no, I didn't imagine that he would become this popular, I suppose.
Elijah is one of the Mikaelson's family. And what makes this family so special?
You know, I'm not sure that I agree that well, apart from the fact that they're the oldest family on earth, that makes them special, that makes them unique. They're weird because they are always talking about this code that they have, this like code, this mantra of always and forever and serving each other, but really they violate that at every turn. They betray one another with numerous transgressions, and they're violent and merciless towards each other. So they're the strangest mix of people saying that they're going to do the most wonderful things, who unfortunately betray themselves and others all the time.
And what do you think about the relationship of Elijah with Hailey?
I thought it was brave of the writers to make that, like, you know, hey, the girl I'm in love with is my brother's pregnant, you know, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I thought it was brave of them to write that. I'm not entirely sure that we've been successful with expressing that story, but I love it. I also love acting with her, but it's difficult for me because Paul Wesley, who plays Stefan on The Vampire Diaries, is one of my great friends, and she's his girlfriend in real life. Mm-hmm. That's my buddy's girlfriend. That's weird. It's
Yeah,
it's
right.
weird. Like that when I have to make out with her, and so we both find it strange. We're like brother and sister, you know.
Do you think they're gonna be together in the end? Do you want them to?
I don't think it matters whether they're together in the end or not. That sounds cold, but I think when you love someone and they love you, that nothing can take that from those people, you know. The truth is that the fact is they loved each other.
And what about the loyalty that Elijah has for Klaus? Is it worthy for the Elijah?
I'm glad you asked me this question because I got asked this yesterday and it was misinterpreted. So now I have time to sit, we can right the wrongs, we can reinterpret. I was saying, somebody said to me, what do you think is the best and the worst quality in Elijah? And I said to them, his best quality is also his worst quality, which is that for me, as Daniel looking at Elijah, I don't understand his devotion to his brother who's just so malevolent, capricious, and inconsistent. You know, like I don't understand you know, I have family. If my brothers treated me like that, I wouldn't discontinue the relationship. Do you know what I mean? But I also love this about Elijah. Like, he's not me, and I love that he's devoted to him in spite of all of the turmoil that Niklas has brought upon the family.
So you have killed some people in the show, and
Many.
yeah. And which death was the most exciting to shoot?
I mean, watching some of the scenes, I was more excited. I always love the fight stuff, the stunt things. I do in my own life. I've done, you know, boxing, Muay Thai. I did a little capoeira for a while, and I love fighting stuff. So
Great.
for me, it was fun to do that for a little while. Any of those stunt scenes.
How was the reception of the Brazilian fans?
They're very passionate people. There was a lot of crying. I have not seen so much crying, except in Italy. In France, they're just crazy. Like, but in Brazil, it's not craziness. It's like passion. You know, they just love they know so much about the show. They know so much.
Did this scare you?
What's that?
Did you scare of this? Such a huge
I will
loss?
be honest with you. I had anxiety when, because when I stepped out on this, Joseph and I came to a stage yesterday for the convention. Because I've heard screaming before at concerts, but I had never heard screaming that loud before. And it just kept going and going and going, and I got
And the Brazilian
anxiety.
food.
It's amazing, but there's so many sweets. I have to go to the gym when I go home now because I'm turning fat. Like, you guys are like, there's so many sweets. No, because I want it, and also the beer is really good. So I kind of have to go so that I can lose weight.
Have you tasted coxinha and brigadeiro?
Yeah, I had brigadeiro, pacoda. What's the peanut one?
Peanut.
The peanut. What's it? What's that? Paçoca.
Paçoca. Oh,
It's so
it's
good.
amazing, right?
Joseph Morgan and I, we took I took one out of a container, and he took another one, and he's like, "What are these?" They were like circles almost, you know. And we both bite at the same time. It was like, we looked at each other and went, "So good, it's so good." But we're like, then we ate like a whole tray of them. But also the bread too, the cheese bread. I don't know what the bread is, but it's so good.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time.